as journalists, it behooves us to pay attention, particular attention to even things happening out of our borders, you know, and quite a lot of moving trends, you know, in Ghana, Nigeria, you know, Liberia, Guinea. Now the Guinea Sierra Leone, you know, Yenga saga has died down a bit.
It has been overshadowed by the fuel crisis and the Iran.
Yeah. Well, yeah, particularly
Israel.
that, you know, particularly that. In fact, I tell you that across West Africa now, well, particularly for Nigeria and Sierra Leone, people are discussing the recent hikes in prices of fuel. You know, it's been crazy. But I took my time, you know, during this week from Monday to today. I've been reading, you know, the press releases that PRA had published since January this year. Mm-hmm. I took time. In fact, Edmond as well did something like that the other day. I was watching him on Facebook where he broke down the, you know, respective clusters that cumulate to the 32 leones. But things are not adding up, naturally. You know, I've read quite a lot about, you know, say, Oluno to field or Sunday and day where you really need answers, you get for go to the specific, go to the figures. So I've been actually delving, shoveling, you know, digging around the figures, and I noticed that in January this year, you know, 2026, when we just started, so the cumulative cost you see per fuel is informed by a lot of clusters. They have a road levy fund, for example, you know, road maintenance fund, infrastructure development fund. There is excise duty, for example, storage and transport. All of these, you know, formulate the total cost for fuel, you know, per liter. And I've observed that in January, you know, the infrastructure development fund cost was around 2.64 leones. 2 leones, 64 cents. That was it. In March 2026, it jumped, right? The recent hike, we now saw 3.44 leones, and for diesel is 1.48. And now, this is where it gets tricky, because when you add that infrastructure levy and you add excise duty is 5 leones per each liter. Now, in June 2025, excise duty was out 2.8 leones. It was minimal, right? We were buying around 25, 26 leones per liter. Yes. But as of this year, excise duty January was 5 leones. So you remember a while ago, before even this Iran, you know, US standoff, we woke up one morning and the price of fuel had, you know, shot up drastically. Everyone was asking questions. Well, that was largely fueled by the finance bill that was tabled in Parliament. But a lot of people don't read these things. So what government had done is they had actually they had added on excise duty. Because when you check, I told you, last year, you know, excise duty was low. It was 2.8. 2.8. I mean, 2 leones, 8 cents. 2 leones, 8 cents. And then when you check March, in fact, they changed it in January. So when you add excise duty, for example, and infrastructure development fund, that alone is up to, you know, is it 10, 11 leones added on top. That's all for government too. So the argument people have been making is this. I mean, government for cushion cost per people, not for add burden per people. People in the suffer already, right? There is infrastructure fund. Why would I not go reduce or pull commodities infrastructure fund for now? Would I not say, over the world, problem day, right? We get serious issue with fuel at the moment. When I pull infrastructure cost for now, infrastructure levy, where they say, they need to go towards road maintenance that become what's kind of the past that different road in the country, then get for maintain and all of that. Even that is questionable though. Because every year, if you check each liter, it runs into billions of leones every year, where their agencies, their own government agencies for road, they actually make effortlessly, people they own sweat and money where they go buy fuel with. So whether you know Okada man or Keke man or Poda man or you know a generator you run on a field where they buy for office or corporate institutions, mining companies, each liter of the barrels, the tanker of fuel where they can buy and then come in, and there is always a charge attached to it where they go towards good maintenance in this country. But even the excise duty is preposterous, you know, 5 leones
that's the same thing
at a time when people they suffer. That's my suggestion. But a lot of time people like for politicize in this country. We have all of these clusters that make up, you know, what informs 32 leones. Let's say give and take, fine. Even the percentage that there is in fuel, you know, prices too, is a bit questionable. Because the prices have jumped drastically. They buy, you know, 20, 30, 40, you know, dollar per barrel over the crude oil. Down the way they buy now around, you know, Iran, that corridor day, right? Now it's around $90 to $100 per barrel. That doesn't reflect on the price we don't put for fuel. 32 leones. If that were the case, let's say, for example, on that side, they actually will be the buy, then fuel for those rise up to, let's say, almost 50 leones per liter now, as I'm talking to you. But this is laughable, right? And at a point, I feel, say, like the oil marketing companies, that they muzzle government. Right? Then they intimidate the government.
The government seem very helpless in this situation.
Very much so. And that's what I'm saying, you know. But listen, it's high time we got our own infrastructure, right? Let's invest in storage. Invest in the jetty, right? In our depot.
But the point you were making a moment ago, Jones, I feel like they say desperate times calls for desperate measures. Well, yeah. So therefore, if we're definitely in desperate times at the moment. So I think the government needs to look at the situation and consider letting go of some of these taxes, just like the economist who was here yesterday.
Oh, he said it?
Yes, he said it. And of course, the army protest. It was an interesting discussion yesterday.
So you see, on my own, I figured this out, that if they actually dropped, let's say, for example, excise duty on the fuel we buy in this country per liter, then it will be reduced to, let's say, even 25 leones.
Or even less, possibly.
25 or even 24, 20 leones. We can do it in this country. But let me tell you, you know what's in the happen, so? Give and take. No, then you say, let me talk to. Government, no one be the one there for losses, right? They want always that money there for the kind side, kakama. And the reality now that, not to no more government they make money. They don't make a like for say, now only pan fuel business and they get money at the country. No, there are several other places. What the natural resources we will get, for God's sake? What the country want to decide to then company there? Why for the leave pan royalties from companies where they mine our country? Then they eat all the money they can go. Where should the benefits as a people? Nothing. We get gold, diamond, bauxite, rutile, right? And we even get partnership with corporations where they do business in this country, where they give you money, where they go to a consolidated fund. Yes. Every month, they get particular quota where they go to government for some of them businesses there also, particularly the mining sector. We can pull it. We get NRA where they get a tax at the country. Now other places down there where they make money. They arrange themselves. You don't even need for subsidy. You pull land they come out no more. Pull the 5 leones per each of the fuel they buy per liter. This country, you see where the people are okay.
Fuel they go down.
Fuel they go down drastically. People don't need for suffer. They suffer also. Then you say all side foremost leg. Let me talk too. If you pull up, they wanna go die. People go die in the country. No, government could still make money other side. You know me say pauper. Now yaso una for make money as. Oh, come on, would they talk then also? But let me tell you, it didn't start with these people, right? And I would say always. Even APC, now the same thing. Always, government not stand for be at the shock panentia okay happen. The one and the people have for stomach them. And it shouldn't be that way. People have vote you in as government. Now there you for work for.
Sick and welfare.
Exactly. How people can go there that is look what's in there for some market right now.
John, sometimes we don't even want to talk about it.
But yeah, I mean, would they go market, for example? You know, I mean, one day I'm a place. I mean, no, they are in a monkey, you know. They go picking one, two. Yeah. I mean, they shopping for myself. See me now in supermarkets. Go now, how they call Abacha Street. You know, Dove Court. Now, we they go now that place and for go buy. Because on there again, the person they cook for at times, so you get for that put and I you go say, well, me no they go market or me they go there. I go buy, can't arrange. You know, you know easy. So when they go there inside, we know. That's why when they talk most times, they talk from an informed background.
I know.
When you go to market, where you touch fish. If they put shy nose 3 or 4, You know?
300 millions.
I mean, yeah, because now I don't know about economy. I mean, when I saw the ministries and see agriculture score, I laughed. In their own right,
like they're not in the same country.
I feel, well, yeah, I feel say that even Bangladesh, there's some kind of country around, right? Not to Salome me, they even, I'm not coming to Salome. Because that kind of figure that they're not only preposterous, you know, they're quite deceitful. However, I'll give government their own side. Let the chief minister don't tabulate again your mathematical business and a doctor from MIT, you don't go MIT, right? Now you get the indicators we they can use for quantify, right? For check the performance of the ministries there. Fine. Maybe now the policy where government give them the objective, maybe they fulfill them. If they left to them, we don't know that day. However, what we the people in the country know, now that when you talk about agriculture, if you say agriculture 100%, where the food?
Did they say 100%?
98, I think, or so percentage. Now they count for us actually, and that's the preposterous thing, right? It's grossly outrageous for say agriculture. You know, as I say anyway, back to the field stuff. I mean, that's what I'm going to say this morning. Let we pull excise duty or road maintenance, because when you check all 210 and the force now up to 12, 13, 15 loans, then they will check all things plus the cents they pant up. Now that they make the fuel go up so. Generally, we will not do that you. Fuel not go up internationally.
Exactly.
We don't just rise them up in the shock. How come? Like because at the 5 million they send to. From 2 point something what I show you last year June. What they do on this year January 2026, you see almost the ad pants up, but people don't read. That's the thing. So over there, say we don't even need for can break and down for you, say, because PRA every time when they pull press release, all thing they do systemic, you know, standing and breakdown. Almost they inform the total fuel costs in the country. That's what they do. I have all of them. Last year, June, I have for January, I have for March, all day. And I take me time and go read even several websites and then stuff there in the world. Take me time about 3 or 4 days. And I sit down and things so they imagine how? How? And it's very simple, you know, not to abagadabra, right? Or a reporter magic, really. Follow will do this thing. It's very simple. So what I'm saying this morning, Mr. Well, I cannot talk to the man who is in charge of PRA because this goes beyond him, actually. It's a government policy, right? In just the implementing government say. They say, now 5 loans for each litre per fuel for excise duty, fine. 3.50 or so cents, loans and cents for road levy. Una pull one. It's either una remove the road levy for infrastructure fund. And by the way, understand, Ali Malo, give context to this. This didn't start with the SLPP. If them particular cluster and the way they talk about Sona and it's by Kuruma introduction in this country, right? If I would get the specifics. But let me tell you, many times, so them are they discuss, I make me, you know, at times, let me tell you, the level would all reach Sona and this work, not to tell you even the watch Salo media. Hardly would you find honest conversations in the media. Because even the people who they go as guests now programs them, then they go under the guise of politicians. Now, few advocates they will get with truly pure. We get to react for the people in this country, where they go now programs them and talk about the people in welfare. Just few, actually. Most of them, when they come to them programs, they are so both from government and even the general public, all man get their own selfish, big eye, right? Agenda the way they come with. Not to all, they get very decent government people, very decent civil society people. But many times, you get them guys there, so as they come, when they come first alone, then demeanor alone, they tell you, say, them and they are then count one mind. They resolve, they even get honest conversations for go down, deeper, you know, for discuss things and find solutions. And I make you there. I mean, I will work this for talk. Early morning, we don't wake, they can't do the people's job. Again, not to all say for the talk then say so. Government for you don't know more, they pass say, they call PRA instantly, say, or give instruction to the finance man, now minister today. And somebody, right? Say, bra, this stuff where they go now Iran, so I don't say it will affect people in a salon. The fare right now at 28.5. Okay, you know what? As president, I don't say it go difficult. I tell them this and I fast more this. I don't say people go market, and if we allow fuel go up right now and go for effective with the goods in the market, people go suffer, right? So what you would do? Let we drop that old business force here. Tell that Bobo yanda na PRA or that guy yanda na PRA let drop her. If they pull and come out, you they see where fuel they go down. Or then pull the excise duty. When I left with the road maintenance, where they go to what they call, you know, even the city. But anyway, still, yeah. That day alone, another discussion for another day. We'll get for put here, but I think they also the money they go every year. Each fuel they buy in the country with over billions of liters. What do they sell annually? What do they charge each liter? Who side the money they go? You know, at times again, you talk to a salon, you retire. You know, yeah. Because certain things are not to even juju, not to abagadabra, not to rocket science. For like, you're able to figure out as government say, you know, not just police one number. Something and they really, you don't even need for stress much for gain popularity among people in the country. Now, simple things are like this, they make people that respect government. Wallahi, to me, God what they serve. Now, simple thing like this, let's say we wake up one morning, no more president, but you don't announce it, well, because of the body owner, they go to the country, me as president, and me work this, I mean, as the commander-in-chief, at the police come out, nobody argue me. So the fear they go down to this as from tomorrow. Who done are OMCs where they go argue president, where he talk say this with the pull and come out? Who done are you? If you don't write for you left here, right? In fact, I believe in the analyze the other thing. So it's high time we got our own, you know, field OMC in the country. For example, in Ghana they have GOIL. I said it the other day. GOIL, for example, in Ghana is their own national, you know, petroleum stuff. Yes. So, however, fuel go up to. Now the government they regulate that one day. You go buy cheaper day. Now they own place. I think it's around 17 cities or so right now for fuel na Ghana. I have a lot of friends. If I had to go Ghana fast. Now I'm the place where I don't store the pass all side of the wall. So it's my backyard. It's my second home. You go to me say you see the flag on top of my table, right? I forgot it back soon, self. You know. So I know. What's the name tell me from His Excellency Akufo-Addo. From then 10 and do. Who would buy fairly under, you know? But I mean, this is not common stuff there. We're not for the Yagba for the NTR, so let me watch this. Mr. President, so this morning, my own analysis this, so let's say no make sense better. Me not to economists, me not come MIT, right? Like the chief minister and some of the other man, and they will get, you know, fancy degrees. But let me tell you, at times, the analysis and sense, now government business, they go beyond book business, right? Not to book. A common sense, now they make good governments, right? So until they look at them and put yourself at the show of the people, then you see the reality and able to solve them from there. But that's just it. Anyways.
We hope they listen.
Indeed, we hope so. But good morning to you. Today is the 12th day in the month of March in the year 2026, and this is how I would welcome you heartily to our breakfast program. You are watching Wake Up Sierra Leone on the Africa Young Voices, and say good morning to our viewers in Ghana, Nigeria, you know, Liberia, the Gambia, Senegal, Guinea, the UK, the USA, you know, Australia, Canada, wherever you are around the world. We'll say good morning to you and a hearty welcome to this, you know, last but one, you know, edition of our breakfast show for this week, and you're heartily welcome. As always, we are broadcasting on TV on channel 33. You're also watching us on watching us on 399 on this TV. We're also on radio this morning. You can hear us on 11.7, which is our frequency modulation on radio. And good morning, Una Audu, to all of Una who don't join with this morning. My name is Victor Jones.
And I am Alimatu George. Stay with us throughout the show as we bring you interviews, sports, entertainment, and many more in this 2 hours of information and learning here on AYV TV and radio. We are broadcasting live from the top of Tower Hill in the heart of the beautiful capital, Freetown. We do encourage your feedback and inputs through our AYV News Facebook page. But first, let's get a quick message from our sponsor, Wakeup Commercial Bank, and other advertisers. And we shall be right back with you.
In the heart of Sierra Leone's dynamic rhythm, Wakeup Commercial Bank is your beat to a brighter financial future. We're not just a bank, but we're your financial partner committed to your success. We've got the financial tools you need to rise higher. Our team is here to serve you with speed and a smile because your time matters to us. So, are you ready to unlock financial prosperity? Highlighting key banking services, such as Keke loans, Combra account, fixed deposits, SME loans, internet and corporate banking, from savings that grow your dreams to loans that fuel your ambitions. Demonstrating fast and friendly customer service. Showcasing cutting-edge banking technology and ATMs. Access your money anytime, anywhere with our state-of-the-art technology and a network of ATMs. Our Rokel SimCopper app puts banking in your hands, where you can pay for EDSA, Afri Money, Orange Money, and pay bills including school fees and make transfers to other bank accounts. Remember, you can also experience Rokel e-banking today. Then join us now. Visit any of our branches or explore our website. Rokel Commercial Bank, your bank of choice.
Sonny, Carter, go see some business partners.
You didn't give me money, Michael. Can if I guess I don't give me this people not to in Michael, today you pay me money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now, you don't send me money and then you don't give me back me money. Today, you give me money.
You don't ever sabi goodness in life. I send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money. I dey able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them.
With Afri money, we able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, or Kenya. If me party we know this, we not follow the grammar right now.
Okay, una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael, with Afri money, you dey able send money even if you not use app, even if you know the online. Directly, all you need for do, you just dial *161 hash. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with Afri Money. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161 *1 *6 hash now. Afri Money, quick and easy.
Good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day. Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll. To be happy.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina, share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make come from with local foods then and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks then. Not to me say so.
We last test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now I make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, it healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salome.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, on 8th August 2024, Statutory Instrument Number 8 of 2024 regarding the conduct of nationwide population and housing census was successfully laid in Parliament. On 29th August 2024, this statutory instrument became effective following 21 days from its laying. Therefore, in line with the decennial census calendar, I am pleased to announce that my government will conduct a nationwide population and housing census.
It's 2026, we dey get with census. Make all my telling fambulen, every responsibility for bring development. Make all my telling fambulen. From the east to the west, blah blah blah. From the north to the south, blah blah. No matter how you dare or you try, blah blah blah. Love you want to call, mama or papa, blah blah blah. One picking of your pa, blah blah blah. Auntie or uncle, blah 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 blah. What's it bill? May they call you, one people, one nation. May they call you. Now we know back up bills alone. May they call you. No person say you know.
For make you go vote now this land. Let all you. If you don't want to make them country again, let them keep you. Cause this time you're salon for right.
See what you better say, Kekabo, Aduo. We bring good news, salon people here, yo. Census don't come again. We ready for Conte, sky from the young to the old. Say the census go help make development day. Allow me them continue until you know go pay. You go air plan more schools, hospital and lights, even water for you community. Who say you there?
May they call you. One people, one nation. May they call you. Now we know back up bills alone. May they call you. No person say you know here. May they call you. May they call you.
Census they come, we all we cooperate. Tell mama and papa, then get for country all, we all make we all ready. Census go help for make we know we safe, and who's how we stand. If you claim say you love salon, who's a development day, na day you for day.
Yambo tegina, mimbo tegina, mingo teteke biambe. Got 2026, census na me right, census na you right. Imagine if they count everybody, they left you out.
I'm going back to Mobawa. Back to Footing, yes, I better to Tonya. I'm with you, Hule Banda. Wabulo, let's look our Bayaganga. Yatumobawa, Mudabi behavior. Come and see a course along, but Mukaleva. Nabi Ina, and that's about Bawana. Don't Mama come make Colabogonia delega. Ina.
Kakotone dim dang, dim dang, dim dang. Kata ting angape kata konkel, angape kata panganda yer. Abagato bagats, I know go. Agalene, Tamojamu, Agatamu, Tarentamu. Don't ye, Mama Maritaka Conte.
I may have Timmy one day, Timmy one day. I may have Timmy one day, Timmy one day. Walk on, but tell me one day. Never made a million.
From the east to the west, blah blah blah. From the north to the south, no matter how you dare or you try, blah blah blah. Love you want to call, mama or papa, blah blah blah. One picking of your pa, blah blah blah. Auntie or uncle, blah blah blah. What's it bill? May they call you, one people, one nation. May they call you. Now we know back up bills alone. May they call you. No person say you know here. May they call you. May they call you.
In the heart of Sierra Leone's dynamic rhythm, Wakeup Commercial Bank is your beat to a brighter financial future. We're not just a bank, but we're your financial partner committed to your success. We've got the financial tools you need to rise higher. Our team is here to serve you with speed and a smile because your time matters to us. Are you ready to unlock financial prosperity? Highlighting key banking services such as Keke loans, Combra account, fixed deposits, SME loans, internet and corporate banking, from savings that grow your dreams to loans that fuel your ambitions. Demonstrating fast and friendly customer service. Showcasing cutting-edge banking technology and ATMs. Access your money anytime, anywhere with our state-of-the-art technology and a network of ATMs. Our Wakeup SIM Copper app puts banking in your hands, where you can pay for EDSA, AfriMoney, Orange Money, and pay bills including school fees and make transfers to other bank accounts. Remember, you can also experience Wakeup e-banking today. Then join us now. Visit any of our branches or explore our website. Wakeup Commercial Bank, your bank of choice.
Sorry, Carl, go see some business partners.
You didn't give me memory, Michael. Tell if I kiss I don't hear me this people in not to Indy. Today you pay me money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now you don't send me money and then you don't give me back me money. Today you give me money.
You don't ever sabi goodness in life. I send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money. I dey able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them.
With Afri money, we dey able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, or Kenya. If me party we know this, we not for the body drama right now.
Okay, una go regret. I mean, now me una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael, with Afri money, you dey able send money even if you not use app, even if you know the online directly. All you need for do, you just dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with AfriMoney. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. AfriMoney, quick and easy.
Good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll. To be happy.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina, share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make come from with local food them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We last test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, it's healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salome.
All right, indeed. Welcome back. You're watching Wake Up Sierra Leone here on the Africa Young Voices. We are broadcasting as usual on channel 33, but our social media is quite active. Our Facebook is on. It's AYV News. You can also watch us on YouTube this morning. We're streaming live on YouTube. It's AYV News, and you're also hearing us on radio this morning on 101.7, which means we are simulcasting. Halima?
Coming up in the program today, a non-partisan citizen movement aimed at transforming the rules that govern Sierra Leone's political and economic systems have been launched. Running out of time, Sierra Leone. Roots. We shall be discussing the movement and its significance.
Also, this morning, we shall be talking to APC's flag bearer aspirant, Dr. Richard Conte, speaking on his outcome of his party low-level elections, governance, and the political ambition that he has for this country. Do not forget, as I said, to be a part of this conversation, you can go to our Facebook page. It's AYV News. Go there and drop your comments. There are others who have gone there already. They've begun discussing some of the issues we've raised in our banter this morning. We're also on YouTube. As always, it's AYV News. You can go there. You are always at liberty to comment on any of what we're discussing on the program this morning. However, just a reminder that you should try to be a bit decent whilst you, converse on social media. Do not insult in any way any of our guests in the studio. We wouldn't want that. Now, in our first segment this morning, a coalition of civil society leaders, citizens, and reform advocates have been launched, running out of time. It's called Roots, acronymed, a non-partisan, citizens movement aimed at transforming rules that govern Sierra Leone's political and economic systems, they say. Now, Roots emerged from a growing national concern that Sierra Leone is failing, they say, to realize its immense potentials. Across party lines and regions, many citizens feel disillusioned, while with a political system that has too often, prioritized division over development and private gains over public good. So Roots seeks to translate citizens' dissatisfaction into constructive pressure to form the movement that does not aim to replace political parties. They say they're rather here to seek to foster a political environment in which parties compete on service delivery, economic management, and national development, rather than a division and patronage kind of movement. So this morning, to discuss the movement and its significance, we are joined by the past president of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, Ahmed Said Nasrallah, who is here with us this morning. He's both a journalist and a senior member of Roots. Good morning.
Good morning,
pleasure.
Everyone. Thanks for having me here this morning.
Indeed, Roots, running out of time. Why running out of time?
Well, we are just trying to emphasize the urgencies of what we need to do as citizens.
Okay.
Because we've been through this since independence. We all know that it doesn't matter where you come from, which region you are, which tribe you are, or which political party you're supporting. Yes, when it comes to the governance and delivery of services, definitely we all suffer. And so we saw that this is something becoming like a vicious circle. Every year, every elections year, every government, every successive government have failed to deliver on the aspirations and of the people. And so we decided that the time is now. We are not proud of where we are. Nobody is proud of where we are as a nation. When we look at the paradox of that Sierra Leone is a rich country. I don't like people calling it a poor country. It's not a poor country. Okay. We are only poor in ideas and poor in the way we practice our politics. But it's a rich country. We are blessed with natural resources. We are blessed with a good climate. We are blessed with a fertile land. And even the people, lovely people. Yes, but this has not translated into the development aspirations of the people. And so we thought that we need to come together and put tribes behind, and put political affiliation behind, and put regions behind, and other petty considerations, and get citizens to demand better governance and better politics, and demand accountability in governance. That when you come as a leader, you made a manifesto, and you must deliver on that manifesto. And these are the basic things: electricity, health, and water, and housing, and these basic essential things, and the economy. Nobody has been able to solve the issue of the economy. And we find out that this government, when they come to power, by the time they are in the second term, the people get tired. The same things happen during the APC when it's almost like the end of their term, of their second term, and many things happening. People are frustrated. People are want to see change. They're just frustrated. And they want to see something new. People are really tired. And so we thought that we should come together and do this and mobilize citizens, mobilize well-meaning Sierra Leoneans, and to come on board. And let's all work together and change how we practice our politics and demand better delivery of services from people we elected and accountability.
Quite a lot has happened in the last 30 years, 20 years, even the last 8 years since the SFP came to power. Why now? Why not before now? It's
there will always be now. Yes, this is
elections.
Yes, many people have we've joined organizations like this before. The idea was there. People got tired and then we came together and said, let's do this. But then along the way, we deviate from the objective and the goal. And so we should keep trying. We should not say the time is not now. Yes, but the time is now, because if we thought that these things have been happening and we've tried to do something, we failed before, and it's good to try again. So that's what we're doing. Yeah.
What would you say, or who would you say motivated the formation of Roots?
Well, it's like-minded Sierra Leoneans, people who have served in civil society, people who have served in policy making, formulation, people who have served in other areas. Yeah, they just thought that this is something that we should do, and it's about time. The time is now, because we're running out of time. The slogan is now, we are running out of time. Yes, because we're not part of where we are as a nation. So these are like-minded people, but we do not own it. We want to let it be owned by the citizens themselves. It's a citizen-led movement, and it's open to everybody. It's open to organizations, civil society organizations, and other organizations who think the same way like we. Yes, because we all have to, because it's going to be huge. This is not something that is going to be easy. We know the structure is there, the system is there to oppose it, to resist it, and we know even our own brothers and sisters who we fight for do resist it at some point because of their mindset. Yes, but we should not give up. We should try and see where it takes us.
So Nazrala, this is not a maiden notion.
Yes,
we do have other civil society organizations who are pushing for these same goals that you're pushing for. The question is, why form another organization at this point? Why not just incorporate your lofty ideas into the already existing civil society organizations?
But this is a civil society movement, not an organization. Civil society organizations, they draw programs, they embark on thematic areas, and they do projects and get funding and to deliver on those thematic areas. That is now, it's a combination of all of this. It does have a small group of people who are the think tanks, who will be there to structure and to plan and to execute and to ensure that there is control, there is planning, and there is organization. We need that, but it's going to involve civil society as well. Those who believe in the cause, and then also ordinary citizens who want to contribute to a new Sierra Leone, to rebuild Sierra Leone again, and ensure that the governance we practice is not politics as usual. We have people, the politicians just come and campaign to you and give you money, and then you vote, or you vote on the basis of your tribe or your region, on some petty consideration. But then you begin to ask questions and probe and say and demand some kind of tangible plan that they want to come and do for you.
So,
yes,
what is your movement?
It's because it's going to incorporate all of them, but it's not a civil society organization. It's a civil society movement, civil society-led movement. It's a movement. So that's why those who are there, they also have their own organizations that they lead. So they'll continue to do their work.
So basically, it's going to be open for other organizations to come and
as long as you have something,
as
long as you have something to contribute, as long as you have something that is a public interest agenda. Yes, you come, we'll give you advice, we'll support you, and then we'll work together and we'll deliver on it.
Okay, so we've had something similar in the past. You know, there was the Renaissance movement.
Yes.
And many young people were very excited about the Renaissance movement. But then we noticed something. At some point, In fact, some of the members, I'm sure you're aware, some of the members, one a very popular figure had to leave for reasons, according to him, lack of purpose, no sincerity of purpose, and the like. So how will citizens be sure that this movement has a sincerity of purpose? Because that's what most civil society organizations alike lack. We see that a certain civil society organization can be very vociferous, very loud, and up all about the place. But as soon as his own political party takes power, they go silent. And in some cases, they take positions and offices. So how would citizens believe, why should citizens believe that this movement is any different?
Well, we've learned from those experiences that you just mentioned. Yes, I'm also a member of the Renaissance movement. They co-opted us, they encouraged us to join, because I have been here in this country for long, and I've been a journalist for over 25 years. I started practicing during the era of Tijan Kaba, the late Ahmed Tijan Kaba, and I've joined movements. I've done my own part, through my writing, through my cartoons, to see the change that we want to do in our own way. Everybody in his own little corner, it's our own little corner. Yes, and then so anytime I see people coming together, students coming together with this kind of initiative, and they call me, I go there, because it aligns with my own thinking, with my own vision, with my own determination in life, that we need to contribute, we need to change the way we do things, and deliver on the people's aspirations. So I joined the Renaissance movement, yes, but it's still existing. No, it's just that if you talk to the original founders of it, they will tell you that the ideology is still on. What they were doing, what they wanted was to get into government, and also influence what is happening in government. That is what they say. There are other people in the group who say, no, that is not the plan.
But many people feel like these were members of
that was not the plan. Yes, that was not the plan. The plan was to ensure that we are consistent with what we do in raising the issues in the interest of the public. And so you have to listen to them, yes. But yeah, like I said, we learned from these experiences. We yesterday at the launching, the head of the Paramount Chief Councils in Sierra Leone, and the head of it, emphasized the same call. He's been here for long, and he's seen organizations come and go with good intentions, and by the time they get into by the time they even start to work, then they deviate from the original goal. So that was the caution that he gave us. But we have been through all of those that you mentioned, and I think we've learned from those experiences, and we are going to try and do all our best to ensure that we are sincere, we are honest, and we ensure that this is not going to die. It's not going to deviate from any, because what we are going to do is we are not going to make it a movement that is owned by a few people. This Sierra Leonean movement is going to be owned by the citizens themselves, because they're going to push it. That's why it's a coalition of everybody who has an interest in rebuilding Sierra Leone. Yes, so I understand your points, where you're coming from, and yeah, but like I said, those instances have taught us a lesson that we should not take that road. And let's chart a new path.
Okay, so you say it's a political movement.
It's a political movement.
Okay, so do you have any policies in place or rules and regulations that bars any of your members from taking up political positions from political parties?
Yes, we have. Before we start, we have had several meetings before we came public, because we know we still have more to do in terms of putting the structures in place. But like the slogan says, the roots running out of time. We are also running out of time, so we want to do things as urgent as possible to ensure that we launch and get the people mobilized. And so we have rules and regulations and structures that we are putting in place, which we all will commit to, and ensure that nobody deviates from what we are trying to achieve. Because the moment you do that, we've lost trust. Because what we're trying to do is to build a trust. It's now to build a trust between us, the citizens, and even the politicians. That what we are doing is in the interest of the nation and the people, not for any particular interest, not for any narrow interest or selfish interest. So that's what we want to do. That's our focus. But once we get that trust and build that trust with the citizens, I promise.
What qualifies a citizen or an organization to be a part of Roots?
If you have something to contribute. Yes.
What do you mean by that?
you know our aim, you know our goals. Like I said, like in the opening, Jones opened well with the objectives of Roots, what we want to do to change, to have citizens, urge citizens to move beyond tribe and region and political affiliations, and mobilize together to begin to demand a different way of how we practice our politics and how governance is practiced. That's the objective, and we are going to take issue by issue, and that is in the public interest, and help government, and help the policymakers, and help even the opposition to position themselves in a way that they address these issues in the interest of the nation. So we are not going to blame anybody for what has happened to Sierra Leone in the last 60 or so years. We're not going to blame anybody. We're going to take responsibility of everything as us citizens, because everybody has a stake in it. The government, the citizens, and every other player that has been part of the development process of Sierra Leone has to take a blame. So we are not going to blame anybody. What we're going to do is to help, is to dialogue, is to ensure that we engage constructively and dialogue and resolve our issues in a way that we refocus the way we practice our politics and our governance.
In a country as polarized as Sierra Leone, along political lines, tribal lines, and the like, this is not going to be an easy thing to do. How do you intend to roll this out?
Nothing good comes easy, like you said. Definitely, whatever you're going to do that you want to succeed in, it doesn't come easy. We know the resistance that will come. We know the polarization in the country. Every sector is polarized. Even among us, you will begin to hear that people will begin to point fingers and label. Oh, this is another setup by SLPP or by APC to get political power or to influence the politics of the day. They will say that. But we'll remain focused. We'll remain focused to what brought us together and what inspired us, and ensure that we deliver on this one. We're going to make that promise, yeah.
What are the big names and faces behind Roots?
I'll call Dr. Spencer. Dr. Spencer is one. Dr. Spencer, has been around for a long time. He mentored most of us. And we have Chukuma, and I don't know his second name.
Johnson?
Yes. No, not Chukuma Johnson. He works for... I don't remember the organization he works for. Yes, but he's also a very senior citizen who has contributed to the development of this nation in his own way. We have Valnora, we have Andrew Lavalley of IGR, and we have Marcela Samba Sisi, and myself there. Yeah. Those few people coming together to ensure that but we are not the owners of it. I will say this again, we are not the owners of it. It's the people. We just want to make it the only people. We are just driving the process. Yes. To me, any institution that is working on behalf of the interests of Sierra Leone is not owned by those people who are they're just custodians, because they will go at some point, and others will come and take it up. So
anyone
that is
can
one.
register. Anyone can register.
Yes, you can go now to the website and become a member. There's a link there. There is a page there that will share the link as much as possible, so that people both here and in the diaspora also join the movement and contribute.
You're not required to pay any sum.
No dues, no nothing. We just want everybody to galvanize and support the movement, that this is in their own interest, and help us to raise the issues. Yes, how are we going to do that to raise them? Yeah, we need a massive public education and awareness raising, not just in the urban centers, but also in the rural areas, in the communities. So that's why we rely on other CSOs who have strength in these areas. We're going to co-opt them, because everybody's going to play a part. It's not just a civil society, like a civil society movement. It is a movement. It's not a coalition of civil society coming together. We used to have one, but at some point they've also got divided. And yes, but we are not going to ensure. We're going to ensure that everybody has a role to play. As long as you have a genuine contribution to make and you're sincere, definitely we'll engage you. We'll show you our rules and regulations, and we'll guide you. And then we'll give you an assignment. This is because you have strength in this area, and help us do this one in this area. So it involves massive public education and awareness raising to change people's behavior and mindset, so that as we come to the elections in 2028, there's a different approach from citizens.
The 2028 elections are around the corner. Yeah. I mean, would Roots be involved in any way in the electioneering process? Let's say vote counting, tabulation, or even supervision in any way?
I'm not sure. That's what we want to do. Let's leave that to the election observers, and who have expertise in that area. all we want to do is the issue. We want to get the elections based on issues. We want to forget about tribe. We want to forget about those other petty considerations. We want to awaken the citizens. This is the power you have. No politician has that power. If you mobilize and you demand and ask the right questions and ask and probe them in a very constructive manner, because what you want is delivery of services, basic services. That's what you want as a citizen. It doesn't matter what color you are or which region you come from. What you want to do, you want to wake up in the morning and you see light throughout the day, 24 hours, and you open the tap, water runs down, and you go to the hospital and you get the service, and you go to the police, you trust going to the police, and you go to the court, you trust going to the court. And you build that trust. That is what we want to do.
You said,
what we want to get people.
Let me quote you. You said, failing to realize its immense potential. Sierra Leone is failing to realize its immense potential. I know there is an advocacy group. It's more like a coalition, of different movements and people, just like Renaissance. Do you have any affiliations with Renaissance? But I know some of you are Renaissance members, like you are a member of Renaissance. Is it still operational?
I'm proud. Yes, the group is still operating. Yes.
Even when most of your members have gone into politics?
It's not as active as it used to be when they were not.
Then it should be closed because it has defeated its purpose.
Well, for Renaissance, I'm not the founder of Renaissance. I'm not there when it started. It started already, and then they co-opted me into the shared division with me, and I found it very, very, very interesting and in the interest of the public. So I went there. But I don't like exiting groups because they are not going. I believe people should challenge. If it's not right, and there are people in the group, because it's a combination of people who have different interests, and they all come together, but they have Sierra Leone. Above all, they have the interest of Sierra Leone in their hearts. So if some people you think that they are deviating from the plan, you take action. You mobilize and say, no.
Which brings me to the question: why
don't give up and don't run away from the fight?
Couldn't you have resuscitated or revived Renaissance?
Well, at the time I was the president of SLAD, so I don't have time to even attend meetings and those sort of things. I was busy with SLAD, but I just wanted to be part of it and give my own little contributions in the area of my own expertise. Yes, so now I'm free. Now after SLAD I'm free, and then this opportunity came. But I was also thinking of forming. I was thinking, what should I do after SLAD? Should I go back to the media and continue the advocacy? No, that approach. I've done that for long, and we're not making any change. My own solution to all of this. I've always told people, get into politics. If you know you have something to deliver, you have good intentions, and you have something that you want to prove and you want to change. You change it to politics.
It is politics that change people actually, not them changing politics.
Let's mobilize, let's organize ourselves and go into these two parties and go there and challenge and contribute and participate.
I bet you if you go there now,
because we cannot stay outside and continue to grumble and stay away and
the funny thing is
if go inside and because when you have the power, then you have this one step.
But the idea is if you get there now, it is the parties that will change you. Yes, I know for sure.
Those are the systems that we want to dismantle. Yes.
Are you sure you can? Because a lot of people have tried.
We'll do it's about strategy.
Let me quote you.
It's about organizing.
The chief minister. Yes, I know. Former, David Francis, professor, who was in the back seat. He has written his book, Governing a Poor Country. Yes, and in that book,
I disagree with his.
You disagree with what?
I disagree with his title.
The narrative.
With his title.
Okay.
Yes, governing a poor country.
You think Sierra Leone is not poor?
Not a poor country.
By all indications, we are poor. Don't you think so?
We are poor in managing our resources.
Okay.
Yes, that's why we are poor. That's why we are poor. And that's what we want to come and help rectify. How we manage our natural resources and our state contracts. That's where the money. That's where the money goes. That's where the money filters away.
So that's what you want to. Because I wanted to ask you, in what way would you be doing this advocacy? Is it protest? Is it writing letters? Is it debates? Is it all in town halls? What exactly?
Based on issue. Research. We're going to research. We're going to get the facts. And for example, we'll say, we want to look at the contract that the government has signed for in the mining sector.
Okay.
Yes, we'll get there and get the documents and analyze them and review them, analyze them, and raise the gaps and say, no, this is not fair, this is not a good contract, this is not a good agreement for Sierra Leone, we are losing. Those kind of things, and raise it up. And
so when the government decides not to listen, what do you do?
So that's where the power comes in. That's where because they have the power. They can say they want to listen to us.
Exactly, and so many civil society organizations are already doing this.
That's why we are building coalitions. That's why we are saying that the people's power is mightier than the power of politics.
Okay.
So that's why we are using the people. If you demand, say no, we don't want this contract. Believe me, you have parliamentarians, you have your MPs. Definitely, the government will listen.
These structures have been in existence for the past 60 plus years, Mr. Nasrallah.
We are changing the approach now.
And people have been demanding full write-ups and all of these things you're mentioning now. These are things.
It's not sustained. It's not sustained.
These are things.
It's going to be national.
Do you think you can sustain it?
Yes, you're going to sustain it. Yes, it's going to be.
These are things civil society organizations are already doing. That's why when I started, I said this is not a maiden notion. But earlier on, Jones asked you a question.
Let me tell you about civil society.
Let me just finish on this one. Jones asked you a question. He asked whether or not, he asked how you're going to be able to do this. He asked whether or not you'll be engaging in protests and the like, and then you would have to say no. So my question is, if other civil society organizations are already doing what you are planning to do, but we're still not getting the results we hope to get, maybe Jones asked the question because it's as if these are the only options citizens are left with now. Because governments come in, governments go, not just one government. Yeah. You have civil society organizations trying to bring them to book, to hold them to account and the like, but they're still not listening. They still continue to do business as usual. So what's going to be so different with this your movement that's going to make the required change?
Yes, to rebuild and to change this country, it's not going to be done by, to rebuild this country, it's not going to be done by one group or by one sector. That's the difference. We're going to do it collectively, and we are going to do it in a sustainable manner. So when you put the conversation, we're going to ensure that something is done before we go to another one. And we're going to help with solutions as well. We're not just going to raise up the issues and then sit without profiling alternative solutions to resolve the problem. No. Civil society, let me tell you about civil society. Civil society, they operate on projects. They are not sustainable. They will take one issue, one thematic issue that they were set up for to do with it because the funding is there, and once the funding finishes, then it is abandoned. They don't have the resources to sustain it in a way that there is action. So there has to be consistency and sustainability. That's what we are going to do. And us is not one sector or one group. We are not one civil society group. We are a movement, and it's going to incorporate all of those civil society organizations that you are talking about. As long as they are genuine and they have the interest of the nation at hand, definitely we're going to work together to ensure that. Once we do that, then we're going to show the politicians that the citizens are not going to be taken for granted anymore, because they've now realized that the time is now to demand accountability, to change the way we do our politics, to change the way you deal in governance, and to change the way you deliver on your promises that you are elected for.
So one of your
Go ahead.
So one of your stated goals is to transform the rules that govern the political system. What specific laws or institutions do you believe need urgent reforms as we sit here right now?
Well, I will not tell you about that because I have not done any analysis on that yet and a review on selecting which area. But I think at the top of the list that we have developed, just brainstorming. I think those contracts I've talked about is one area. The contract government has signed with the not just the mining sector but also other multilateral companies. That is one area that is top on the list of what we want to try to do. And the other is also to begin to create the awareness that people begin to understand that this is our responsibility. It's not going to be done by anybody from outside. It is our responsibility. We've been grumbling, we've been getting frustrated, people talk about these things, but they talk about it on the sidelines. Everybody's grumbling, nobody's doing anything to come up with a movement like this and say, let's come together. The idea is to work together. The idea is to work together. It's not, we are not going to do it like we are the only people that are going to do it, but it's an umbrella body. It's a movement, it's roots. So the symbolism there is that we're going to get to the root of the problem. And that's where we are. We're running out of time. So we need to do this.
So earlier on, Mr. Nazar mentioned that the citizens need to know that they have the power
yes,
in their hands. And I think the only power the citizens have is their votes.
Yes.
Because when it's time to choose that president, it's your vote. But we still have transparency and accountability issues surrounding the institution that deals with the people's votes.
Okay, you're talking about the ECSL?
Yes, I'm talking about ECSL. So if the only power the citizens think they have is something they're not even sure of at this point, because you have tranches, you have pockets, people here and there complaining, and from what we have all observed, this issue has not been laid to rest. How would your organization come in, for instance, to work with an organization, with an institution like the ECSL, to ensure that the power we all say the people have is actually power?
Yes, we are going to monitor, we are going to contribute as well. Yes, talk about elections. Yes. We're not going to observe our missions, but definitely part of the advocacy will be how citizens participate in the elections.
There's currently a standoff between the All People's Congress and, of course, the government in power regarding the appointment of Edmond Alpha. What's your take on that?
Well, I don't want to have a take on that.
Well, yeah. Now remember, votes. These are the things you're going to be dealing with, Mr. Naziala.
I don't want to take how we go. Yes, because when you listen to the government argues that there is a constitution. It has not been changed. What the opposition was asking for was part of the tripartite recommendations, and that is under implementation. But there should not be any vacuum in terms of who heads the ECSL. The man that is there right now has been acting for more than 6 months, and so the law says that you should appoint somebody to be there substantively, and that's what the government says it has done. But the opposition is calling on the government that no, we have a tripartite recommendation that says this should be appointed by some group, and we need to do that. But that has not been implemented yet. It's still in Parliament. The first amendment bill, the amendment bill that was tabled in Parliament by the Minister of Justice is still there, and Parliament is debating it. So until that is done, there is a law. That is the argument. And this is law. This is a country of laws, and we need to respect the laws. But the opposition is speaking from the spirit of the tripartite agreement and these sort of things. And that's what they want to see. So let them argue. They are politicians. Let them argue, and we're not going to decide for them. They will come at some point and decide. Yes. So if you ask me for my opinion, that's my opinion.
Earlier I asked you.
The government is right or the opposition is right. Yes, but they all have justification for what they are demanding. The government is talking about law, and they are talking about the agreement that we have and the recommendations that they made together. That this is what will happen. And yes, but
earlier I asked about your method of advocacy, and you talked about going to mining companies, questioning their contract with government and all of that. I mean,
we're not going to mining companies. We're not going to the mining companies and question them. No.
What will you be doing?
Yes, we'll find the documents. We'll get the documents. We'll have access to the documents and try to analyze them and get independent expert opinion on them. And yes, and we feel that this is not a good agreement for our country. We'll raise the issues and we'll say why, and we'll highlight how much the government is losing or how much the nation is losing with this contract. And let's make it open. And then we expect now to have the other civil society organizations who are doing this in their thematic areas to take that up now and get a national conversation on it and see how we can address it. And that is how we're going to sustain the conversation. It's not the conversation of few people, but we want to have a national conversation. All of these things that we are going to raise.
What do you get from this? Bottom line, what do you benefit?
Well, change. It's change. I mean,
you cannot just say change. I mean, yes, at the end of the day, a man has to eat. I mean, I'm sure that bottom line, there is always a means to an end.
But I've been the president of SLAG for 6 years, and you're not paying me for. They've not been paying me for.
I understand. I understand. But maybe you've decided, not you per se, but all of you. The collective goal.
At this point,
is it to make money eventually?
Money is not our concentration. How we make money.
At what point will it be?
No, at this point we are not thinking about getting employed, because we are all gainfully employed in our areas. I'm personally privately employed, self-employed. The others, they have their own employment, so they survive on their employment. This is something that we want to contribute to our nation, our nation. Yes, we're not going into it to say that who's going to pay the salary? Who's going to pay your salary?
And earlier on, you said the idea is get into politics.
That's my own personal. my own personal.
So that's not the opinion of Roots. That's
no, that's the opinion. I said my own personal, my own solution to all of these things that we're saying. I've had people who think very strongly about the colonization of the country over the last 60 years. They have ideas and but they just talk it. They just they don't even have the courage to come to studios like this and say their mind, because of one or two other reasons. And so they just stay at on the periphery and grumble. It doesn't change anything. So get into the politics, get into the parties.
Would you be joining
these political parties? They are properties owned by the people of Sierra Leone. They are not owned by the current president and his team, or the people's president and his team. No.
So would you be joining politics
from independence? The SAPP, Samuel Simbagai, Albert Bagai. Look at the trend. Ahmed Jankaba and his group. They've all gone. Now we have new players. Tomorrow we'll have new players as well. So the only way you change if you want to get the good idea. But we also see beyond that.
So this is your way of saying you'll be joining soon? The politics
I was contemplating, but how will I join? I just left Sludge, and if I say, okay, I want to join the SAPP, I would have said, oh, no, you see, that's why he was behaving like that when he was Sludge president. I want to join APC. Oh, that's why. So I was thinking of coming to AYV and get a
but you can denounce being a journalist and join politics.
Get the two political parties.
But then you will not
put them in the bag.
You will not be privileged to practice anymore. That's the thing. I say you can denounce journalism and join politics, but you will not have the privilege to practice anymore.
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
I've been a journalist for ages. And
so that's the thing.
Yeah, so if I decide at that moment that I want to do that, yes.
So in essence, you're saying from Wood you're pivoting into politics.
I'm not saying that. I said that was what I was thinking after Sludge. So how can I contribute? What would be my next call? Because I still think I can offer. And there is so much I can offer to my country and to the development of this nation, because I've done so for a very long time. And how do I do that? Do I still go to the media and have my own media house and contribute? I said, no, that will not be my decision. So I was still thinking when this Roots initiative came on, and I said, oh, yes, I even have my team, and they inquired at the PPRC what it requires for you to start a movement or a political party, and we have all the steps. I said, oh, this is going to be it. You have to have offices in all of the 16 districts, and you have to have members in each of those districts.
You know that involves money, right?
Yes, you have money. Yes, you have money.
Where would you be getting funds from? That's the other question I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
who is funding Roots?
Those are the questions that
who is funding Roots?
For now we have no funding. For now we are.
Because I know at the end of the day, it's either you want to the politicians or some international organizations to fund you.
We can go to the politicians to support an initiative like this.
So who would you be getting funds from?
We don't have funds for now. We have not reached that state yet to have one, because we are, like I told you, the members of the group are all gainfully employed, and they are from other organizations. And those organizations are running, they are receiving salary. So whatever things we want to do right now, and we all put resources together and see how we can do that. It doesn't involve any too much cost. But at some point, when we thought that this is something that we need and some funding, we'll talk to the international partners. They'll support initiatives because they care about democracy, they care about civic participation, and they care about change. That the country, the trajectory of this country should change, and people should change the way of practice politics. Too much hate, too much and division. The politicians are not dialoguing. They are not sincere to themselves, to each other. And so the spirit of it is to ensure that Sierra Leoneans we see each other in us, and that's how that's the spirit, and so that we promote that kind of unity.
In that book, you've criticized that was written by Professor Francis.
I've not read it yet. I said I don't agree with the title.
The title,
yes,
okay. Well, beyond the title, I'll explain that.
I saw you on Facebook.
Yeah, the idea is he's saying that when you get into politics, when you occupy these offices, it's different. Really.
It's different. I know. Yes.
You would go with all the best intentions, but you'll be muzzled, and even it doesn't even work for them. Much more so talking about civil society organizations or coalitions like yours. Yes. So the idea is there should be a willingness. That's the thing. What Professor Francis is saying. He's brandishing himself as being this very honest and very strict stickler for discipline, and because of that, it wasn't liked by many people within government. So he had to leave.
Yes, we know the problem. So
at the end of the day, all of these advocacies, forming coalitions will not work really if the best intentions are not at the fore from the government side. The people who rule us, as my colleague Lamaganaba says, forget people who get soyats, no matter, and freed God. So at the end of the day, no matter the level of advocacy you put up, The buck stops with the heads of states, the people who lead us.
The power, yes. That's why I said my solution is get into the political parties. That's my own personal.
So and that is
something I'm going to push. I'm going to encourage other people and organize and see how they can do that. But yesterday, Dr. Spencer talked about the deep state. So sometimes the problem is beyond the politicians. In the case of Sierra Leone,
there are people who rule these politicians.
Yes. If you look at the trend from let's say from the days of President Kaba to now, when they are in opposition, they have the ideas. They understand the problem of Sierra Leone. They understand the challenges we have, and they have the solutions. They seem to have the solution. But the moment they come into power, the moment they are elected, then you see them doing things differently, and you wonder why. What has happened? What has happened? What is there in these political parties or in this governance system that we don't know that changes these people? So they come with all the intentional changes. So that's another problem. There's a deep state within the state. So the politically visible people that you see, they are not always in control of governance. That's what we've learned. And so how do we break that down? How do we? That is also part of the longer term goal that we want to see how we break that system to ensure that these structures within the state that are so powerful, we want to dismantle them and ensure that if you are in the civil service, you should not be partisan. You should not be partisan. Your job is to deliver on services. Your job, it doesn't matter which government is in power, but your role is to ensure that you work as a professional, as a civil servant, and deliver on governance and machinery. So that's a problem. Yes.
Viewers watching now might think. So if you're saying get into politics, if you want to change the narrative, you want to change the rules of the game, and want to make the impact you so desire, why won't citizen feel like whatever you're doing, whenever you're at the time you're in the movement, whatever you're doing is like trying to position yourself so that the government will see that, oh, this guy, if we're not get in this position here, we're not going for short term, we're not going for short term up, or this is don't come for I think say let me just fix it here. Why wouldn't citizens see it that way?
No, that is not the getting into governance I'm talking about. That is an appointment.
Okay.
That is an appointment. The government is coming and they appoint you. That's not part of government. Government, I mean, you go into the system. For example, you go into the APC and become a member. You get your party card. It's not a crime to get into this party. Sometimes people think that is a crime. Oh, you're APC. When they label APC, then you become offended. When they label APC, you become offended. No, that's a political party. That's the vehicle. Because that is the vehicle to state power. So get into the party, become a member, get a membership card, pay your dues, and participate in the activities of the party and challenge for positions.
Have you done that already?
No, I'm just saying.
Just
outside here. I'm just that is part of the solutions I've been talking about. But when I say go into the political party, I'm not talking about one person. I'm talking about a strategy, organize, and you get a group of people with like minds and who want to see change and who are passionate about change and transforming the rebuilding in this country. Get into these two parties. Not just one. Get into it because we have been led by these two parties at one point or the other and another point or the other. So get into them and participate and see how you get numbers and to take up the decision-making processes in this party and challenge for the flag bearer and the positions and see where it gets. So that is another part of the solution. While other people are doing, because we all can't get into politics, it's not possible. So once we are doing this one, others are getting into this one. That's how we're going to change this country. But I know the task is ambitious, it's huge, but nothing is impossible if we put our minds to it, our sincerity to it, our honesty to it, and say we want to deliver on this. Then it will happen.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Ahmed Said Nozala, continue to stay with us here on Wakeup Sierra Leone. We've also been joined by, one of the flag bearer aspirants, of the All People's Congress Party, Dr. Richard Conte. Good morning. It's a pleasure having you. We shall be talking to him shortly. He's also here to talk about the lower level elections, which just concluded, among many other things we shall be talking about this morning here on the program. You've been hearing from Ahmed Said Nasrallah, and he's from Roots, a new coalition that has been formed, similar to the Renaissance movement. Well, I know you would like this, but I mean, we shall be back when we get back from this short break. We shall be speaking to Dr. Conte.
In the heart of Sierra Leone's dynamic rhythm, Wakeup Commercial Bank is your beat to a brighter financial future. We're not just a bank, but we're your financial partner committed to your success. We've got the financial tools you need to rise higher. Our team is here to serve you with speed and a smile because your time matters to us. So, are you ready to unlock financial prosperity? Highlighting key banking services such as Keke loans, Conte account, fixed deposits, SME loans, internet and corporate banking, from savings that grow your dreams to loans that fuel your ambitions. Demonstrating fast and friendly customer service. Showcasing cutting-edge banking technology and ATMs. Access your money anytime, anywhere with our state-of-the-art technology and a network of ATMs. Our Wakeup SIM Copper app puts banking in your hands, where you can pay for EDSA, Afri Money, Orange Money, and pay bills including school fees and make transfers to other bank accounts. Remember, you can also experience Wakeup e-banking today. Then join us now. Visit any of our branches or explore our website. Wakeup Commercial Bank, your bank of choice.
Right, welcome back to the second and final segment of the program this morning. My name is Victor Jones and
I am Alimati George.
We've also been joined this morning by APC's flag bearer aspirant, Dr. Richard Conte, who is here to talk about, his views on the outcome of the party's low-level elections, governance generally in Sierra Leone, the appointment of the ECSL boss, and these, political ambition. Good morning, Doctor. It's a pleasure having you.
Good morning. It's a pleasure being here.
Indeed. I'll start with your low-level elections. That was a catastrophe, if you ask me. Wasn't it?
It was not a catastrophe.
Well, several, pockets of violence, Aberdeen constituency, 131, violent clashes, election suspended, constituency, 060, violence, confrontations among supporters, Cambia district, Karifaya Mongo, school set ablaze. These are all serious issues of violence, if you ask me.
There were issues, but I will not call it a disaster.
When the school was bombed?
Don't forget that this is the first time in the history of the APC that we are practicing internal democracy.
Okay.
And so it's a bit difficult for some people to appreciate the fact that the people have a right within the party to elect their leaders. And so there will be skirmishes here and there. And also
okay.
There were some mistakes on the part of the leadership. One instruction will be given, say the center should be here, then it's changed to that place. Also, naturally, some tensions were developed, but I believe that lessons have been learned. That's why we have a system in the party. The internal elections complaints board is handling the issues. They will be resolved. We will go for the rerun where it's so decided, and then we'll move on with the process.
I'm a bit ruffled by your statement. You said this is the first time the APC is practicing internal party democracy, meaning you've not been practicing democracy generally in the party.
In our old constitution, it was selection instead of election. So yes, it's
so democracy is new to the APC.
But it's new. It's all democracy. There are different forms of democracy. It's democracy.
Okay.
But the fact of people voting for their leaders from the ward to the national level is a bit not commonplace in the history of our APC. So it's a process.
Your man, Mohamed Modu Kamara Jagaban, alleged that senior party members were found with ballot boxes, in their homes during the electoral process. He suggested that was evidence of direct interference, in the entire voting process. He described the situation as shameful and a betrayal of eternal party democracy.
Did he name the people?
No, he couldn't name names. He even said he was going to petition or go to court eventually. If at all,
the party
he believed it was being rigged in the process.
The party has a process. If he knows the names of the people that committed those crimes, that will embellish his case. It will make his case stronger.
Do you think he's lying when he said senior party members were found in ballots?
Make his case stronger on appeal. So I think if he wants to petition those instances, he's more than okay to do it. I don't see any problem with that if he has the evidence.
So how would you describe the elections, given that, there were skirmishes here and there, schools set ablaze? Jagaban is saying that his votes were stolen. People were found in ballot boxes who were senior members of the party. All of these. If you've said yourself that eternal democracy is new to the APC, holistically, how would you describe this before we move forward?
The elections were not perfect. There were challenges, but that is why the party has its internal mechanisms, which we would now get into action.
Like what?
And so
what
the
are these
Internal
mechanisms?
Elections Complaints Board.
Okay.
It might interest you to note that they have received petitions in up to 53 of the 132 constituencies. That's quite a large number, over 100 petitions.
Wow.
But they are handling each of those petitions in the way they should be handled. And we hope that by the end of this week, a verdict will be given, and sometime next week, where a rerun has been ordered, the rerun will be conducted. I think what is important is for us to know that in a democracy, when there are challenges with the electoral process, those challenges have to be acknowledged and corrective measures taken. Right. The problem will only arise when challenges take place and people don't decide to apply corrective measures. That is why I said, if my good friend and brother Jagaban has evidence to substantiate the very serious allegations he is making, that's a strong case he can make a petition. And when these people are identified and some naming and shaming is done, also some consequences, I think will help to build and strengthen our democracy in Sierra Leone.
Holistically, Doctor, this casts a very problematic shadow of the opposition or people's congress. If you cannot conduct a low-level election among many other elections peacefully with decency and decorum, how will people trust you to run this country?
No.
Then we'll see you as some serious, don't you think so?
I don't share that view with you. I think what's important is that there's a system in place. When people misbehave, like as it's alleged, and that as it's informed by the number of petitions, there has to be mechanisms in place to correct that. That shows that it's a functioning party, it's a functioning democracy, and we're moving forward.
You're moving forward?
Yes.
Your party has been tagged as unprogressive by the Chief Minister. Do you agree with his description or adjective of the party?
It's an unfortunate statement.
You think so?
It's an unfortunate statement coming from somebody so highly placed.
Okay.
I have chosen not to make any further comment. I tweeted the time he first made that pronouncement. I tweeted.
Okay.
But I've just decided now that I will no longer respond to his tweets and his comments.
What if perhaps the Chief Minister, I'm not speaking for him, but what if perhaps he's, looking at all of these, things happening around the APC? Let's say, for example, your recent boycotts of government activities from Parliament and even the councils.
Current boycott.
Yes, boycott. It's problematic. It disturbs the governance of this country. Don't you think that's unprogressive in a way?
Okay.
Abandoning your duties?
As if to suggest it is ill-informed and that the factors that precipitated it should be discountenanced.
I haven't said that.
Well, so then if
you are putting words in my mouth.
No,
I said that someone might read your action as unprogressive. Perhaps, I'm asking.
So now, I'm saying it is not.
Don't you think so?
It is not. It's rather progressive.
Progressive by leaving parliament, abandoning the councils that oversees schools, hospitals in this country?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you have a government that refuses to respond to the demands of the opposition, concerns are raised repeatedly, negotiations are made, agreements are reached and signed, and those agreements are flouted. The opposition, the fiscal, the democratic space is shrinking by the day. The opposition is under attack. There is total state capture. They weaponize institutions against the opposition.
Under attack?
What do you expect?
Doctor, can you kindly explain to us? I mean, just so you understand the context that you're making this morning. How are you being attacked?
The democratic space is shrinking.
Okay.
We can no longer exercise our freedom to speak.
Okay.
We can no longer assemble freely. We reached an agreement to address the root causes of the 2023 elections. It is internationally acknowledged that those elections were flawed and that they were statistically inaccurate in terms of the results that were announced, and which calls into question the credibility of the outcome. We agreed to come together to address these issues. We agreed on a set of recommendations that needed to be implemented. And now these people that signed that agreement are coming out to say, it doesn't matter, these are just recommendations.
Is that what they said?
Yes.
Who said so?
The government.
Which particular government official?
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament
said that the tripartite recommendations were not...
No, the Deputy Leader of Parliament said it in the well of Parliament, that they had mere recommendations. And that is contrary to the spirit behind the agreement, and that is not good. So as an opposition, we are left with no option but to take action that they will listen to, that they will hear, that they will feel. It's unfortunate that sometimes when you act, it might affect one person or the other, but that is the only option available to us. The only other thing you may want us to do is to take up arms and go out on the streets. Which we don't
let me go back to what you said. I mean, it appears as though you're painting a picture this morning that you're being boxed to tight corner.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Precisely.
Are you confessing to helplessness?
No, we're not helpless. That's why we're acting.
Perhaps you're helpless. Don't you think
helpless.
so?
We're not helpless.
I mean, if you had to boycott Parliament,
we will not boycott.
There are diplomatic means, don't you think so?
We know that there are lines of action that we can take.
There are.
We have decided to boycott.
Negotiations.
We are also going to
court. One of them, actually.
You can't continue negotiating with a party that will not honor the outcome of those negotiations. It makes no sense. You should only negotiate when you know that if you agree on something together, that party will honor that agreement. What we have is a situation wherein we agree with all the pain we had in 2023. We agreed to go to the negotiating table. We had the agenda for national agreement for national unity. Then we had the tripartite arrangements. We sat down for 7 months. We came up with a report, and that report is now being dismissed just like that. And sadly, even when they decide to take doctored versions of that agreement to Parliament, whilst the process is ongoing in Parliament, they abandon it and go back to that law which they said is not good and must be amended. Are these type of people we can continue engaging with? No.
Dr. Conte, you are aspiring to become the flag bearer of the All People's Congress and by default become the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. What makes you the right person to lead the APC, to be precise, at this time when, of course, many people consider the party has been on the crossroads, because you have splinters, you have this faction and that faction, there's electoral justice, there's the 2028 agendas, there's a lot of splinters in the party at the moment. What makes you I know you're referred to as the unifier, that's that's how you're called, but what makes you the right person to lead the party at this point?
Okay, first of all, I want to clarify something which I've said consistently. Our party is not divided.
Okay.
Our party is not in shambles. We just have a situation wherein people have different views, different candidates that they support. Yeah, we have different people with different views. Right now we have over 20 people aspiring to become flag bearer. Everybody has his or her own supporters. That for me is not division. It just shows that the trademark called APC is attractive, and everybody wants it to use as a conduit to get to power. So I have no problem with that. But what APC needs now,
how is criminality in any way attractive? No, I'm just following up.
No, let me.
Before
I've not answered yet.
No, you said it's attractive.
No,
how is criminality, ballot stuffing by elders of the party, as Jagaban has put it, you know, attractive?
I want to answer her question first.
Go on.
But will you promise to answer this one after you answer that one?
I cannot be listening to two people at the same time.
No, go ahead.
So
finish
when I
up that
finish
one
with
first.
her, you'll have an opportunity to ask. You are the host.
I'm just following up, actually.
Yes,
it's tied to that one, but go ahead.
Follow up after I have answered, not before I answer. Are you saying I should ignore her questions and answer?
I'm not saying that, but you said something that is quite catchy.
Be patient.
No, go ahead.
So, madam, back to the issue why I think I'm the most suitable. What this country needs now is a leader that can heal the current divide in this country. Sierra Leone is polarized along tribal lines, along political lines, along regional lines, and that does not augur well for this country. And so we need somebody that has demonstrated over the years that he can work with Sierra Leoneans regardless of where they come from. Somebody that Northerners, Southerners, Easterners, Westerners are comfortable to engage with. I believe that as a local from the North, I am very comfortable working with Southeasterners because of the affinity between locals and them. I studied in the Southeast. I lectured at Jala. Okay. That also helped me to build friendships, relationships over the years. 50% of the people in this government were either my students or my colleagues in college or people I have worked with over the years. So relationships have been built, and I think we can use that to good effect. 2, we need somebody with the experience in governance. We don't want a situation where somebody comes to learn on the job. Sierra Leone needs somebody who understands the issues, understands the problems, and can proffer solutions to those problems. I think with the experience I've gained over the years, I have that experience. 3, we need somebody that can lead the APC against a government like the SLPP. The SLPP, if you judge from the past elections, for example, the actions they took, we need somebody that understands elections, somebody who is able to go across the boundaries to engage in the Southeast, somebody who is able to protect the votes of the APC. I have demonstrated since 2018, 2019, in all by-elections and in the national elections in 2023, that I have what it takes to protect the votes of the APC. So if APC needs to win in 2028, APC needs a leader who can reach out across and get votes from the other side, who can unify this country, who has a proven track record of governance and leadership, and somebody who can protect the votes of the APC. I think these, among others, are reasons why I would make the best candidate to lead the APC against the SLPP. Now you can ask your question.
Yes, in what way would you say the APC is attractive when you have all of these underlying, deficiencies, like ballot stuffing, as Jagaban has accused the party?
I think I said if Jagaban has evidence, the party has a structure, the party has a system, the party has a process. Okay. And Jagaban is at liberty, and I believe his supporters have done that. So that process is ongoing. So we don't need to re-echo it. Yeah. What makes our party attractive? One indicator is the number of people that want to lead it.
The number of people. How many of you are there at the moment?
I don't know the exact number, but it's over 20. So the mere fact that so many people want to lead,
and you're the best,
APC,
you said, among the rest.
Yes.
Why? In what way?
I've just
what
answered.
What are the indicators?
I've just answered.
There are fine men in that place,
I've just answered it.
What do you think? They are finer people who can come close to your experience and expertise?
Dr.
I've just answered that question.
Dr. Conte, so for many Sierra Leoneans, the next president must be an individual with character, integrity,
exactly,
and of course accountability.
Yes.
of course, you were the chief of staff at State House.
Yes, oh my God.
During the Anes Bai Kroma era.
Yes.
And
we are
you're
going
laughing
there again.
as if you know.
No, I know where we're heading.
Okay. So reports emerged that you were dismissed over allegations of forging.
Yes.
Forgery.
Yes.
Apparently, the allegation was you forged the president's signature in a particular document. How true is that?
It's very untrue. And it was proven in court that it was not true. In fact, sadly, it was my signature which was forged.
Your signature?
My signature.
Can you kindly explain so that we can all understand?
Somebody applied for permission to export timber. I was authorized to convey approval after going through the process. I conveyed approval for 30 containers, following instructions I received to convey approval for 30 containers. This person took the letter, went to the computer, took my signature, and put it on an unended approval. No limit on the approval, and continued to ship containers. When this issue was picked up, we investigated it, and both the intelligence unit headed by Christopher John and the ministerial team that I headed came to the same conclusion, that my signature was forged. In fact, Christopher John even went further to say the person confessed to him that he forged my signature.
Who was this person?
Sadly, Ali Suma. Unfortunately,
is
the
it
current chairman of
APC?
APC in Port Loko district.
Wow.
And this matter, I was asked now to go to the CID to present the case on behalf of government. To my greatest shock, when I now went to the CID to present my case, instead of becoming a prosecution witness, I became an accused. I was sacked. The matter went to court. And then after 3 years, the matter was thrown out for lack of evidence. And in the testimony in court, a certain lady who was then the head of the forensic unit, Nyakoi, she's still at the CID there, testified in court as a professional witness that it was my signature which was forged. I did not forge anybody's signature, and no other signature was in question. The only signature that was in question was my signature. But you know the bad thing in this country? People never try to get to the facts. They act on hearsay without having the facts. He's still a journalist, so I'm sure he was in the thick of all of these discussions. People were misinformed. People went on radio. In politics, people saw Richard as a rising star. In a very short time, had risen from being a deputy minister of finance to minister of trade to chief of staff, and they said, this guy, if we don't step on his brakes, the way in which he's going to overtake us and he's going to become president, so we have to do something.
Do you think that's what happened?
As a result of that?
Yes.
Were you still dismissed?
Yes.
So why were you dismissed if you were innocent?
Well, I was dismissed before investigating. I was dismissed before trial. So I was already out of government when I was exonerated.
So was Ali Suma held to account for his actions?
No.
Up to now.
So that speaks volume about your party, isn't it?
No, it's not about party, it's about government.
Government.
No, but the man is a member of a party. I mean, you said he's a chairman in some regional office of the APC. Are these the kind of people you have in the APC?
Well, every party has good,
I know there
bad,
are decent people there, but this
every
kind
party
of character would stay.
Every party has the good, the bad, and the ugly. And APC is no exception.
APC is no exception.
Yeah, every party.
If you were to succeed as the flag bearer, or say the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, what would be your 3 priority areas?
I have 5 priority areas. The first one is on unity, good governance, rule of law, improved security. Pillar 1. Second pillar is on agriculture, food security, and the environment. We have to make sure. The third pillar is on social services, health, education, water, youth issues, women issues, the elderly. The fourth priority is on innovation, infrastructure, industrialization. The fifth priority is on the economy, the private sector development, tourism, and those other things that are needed to be put in place to boost the economy. So I will believe that if we intervene in these 5 areas, we'll be able to bring it on around in a very short time.
Doctor, one of your fellow aspirants, Dr. Kelfala Mara,
yes,
had gone to Truth Media, and had said that this government is not spending wisely. He said, I quote, "They're not spend money the way they're supposed to spend them, and they spend money recklessly, indiscipline in the expenditure stream." Do you believe in these?
Yes. Yes, you see, in fiscal management, there's income, there's expenditure. There is always a reality that resources are always in short supply.
Okay.
So you have to prioritize. But if you look at, if I just take one indicator, travels.
Okay.
If the presidency alone can spend in excess of $30 million in 1 year, that's a lot. When you think of what can be done with $30 million, that's a lot. If this government can spend in 1 year over $120 million on travels alone, that's a lot. In the process of the 8 years, they've spent over $1.5 billion on travels alone.
And you've seen these documents,
yes,
quoting figures.
Yes.
I just want to be sure.
Yes, I mean, I on another podium, I actually read out the figures for each year, what APC spent in each of the years.
Who gave you those figures?
Oh, from my sources.
A leak from
my sources in government.
From State House?
From my sources in government.
From State House, you mean?
From my sources in government. I don't want to put anybody
Isn't that where the document came from?
I don't want to put anybody in harm's way.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You saw this privilege,
Yeah.
data.
I have them.
Okay.
I have them.
Okay.
And so those statistics show the marked disparity in spending on just that sector. And the amount of money spent is enough to even do the Lunge Bridge on just travels.
Okay.
And then over and beyond that, their own audit report, also talked about over $200 million stolen, either through direct thieving or through under invoicing or through bad contracting or through simply not being able to generate the required revenue at NRA, at customs, for example. It might surprise you to know that when somebody pays to their agents in NRA about 250 million to clear a 40-foot container, what actually ends up in government coffers is less than half of that. The rest of the money goes wherever. So these are the leakages acknowledged in their audit report.
But President Bio promised, closing all of these leakages when he came. Are you saying he's doing the opposite?
Well, the audit report is saying otherwise.
And you are supporting that as well. You're saying
how
would you rate?
If the Auditor General is appointed by this government, it means they have confidence in the Auditor General. Remember, Lara was dismissed because they did not trust her. They said she was critical when she was just saying the truth, because even when APC was in power, she was equally critical. So she was dismissed, and then they brought in their own person. And their own person, in the latest audit report, is stating that there are all of these leakages in the system, and that's very serious.
We've read it. When you ask government officials, they will tell you that it's about filing inappropriately and not about embezzlement per se. That's what they're arguing, that in some of the instances, it's not about embezzling these funds. It's perhaps a major glitch into,
but the fact is that the money did not come. But the fact is that whether it's by glitch or by misfiling, the fact is that the money did not get into the CRF. If they had said, we discovered 200 million in the CRF that we were not able to determine where it was coming from, then that argument can hold. But this is a case where this money should have come in, but it did not come in at all. So I will have difficulty if I were confronting such a person. He will have a lot of explaining to do to me.
Doctor, let's talk about something different, but not entirely. I mean, the government had done their analysis, led by the Chief Minister, Dr. Senge, And they had said that the Ministry of Agriculture came out top, with flying colors, 98% in, their review that they did, followed by, I think, water resources or so. What are your honest assessments?
I saw the report. For information, I'm the first chief of staff that attempted to evaluate ministers.
Okay.
And I ranked them and based upon performance. And so when I was interested when I saw the report. But when I saw the Ministry of Agriculture coming tops, the first question I asked myself, so feed saloon don't pull rest? We don't spend over 200 million on there. Where's the rice? I've not seen it. So where's Toma Boom? I've not seen it. So how can a ministry that has absorbed so much, attracted so much funding to boost production and productivity of at least our staple food come first in the ranking when the major thing they were set out to accomplish, for which a lot of resources have been given to them, have not accomplished it? What are resources? Even in Freetown, they've not been able to provide water. Let's talk about out of Freetown, and they can come second. So this just speaks volumes about the performance of this government. If these ministries that perform so abysmally are the best, then I wonder what will be the situation in the worst ministries.
Since you're pivoting to become that number one man soon, if at all fortune smile on you eventually.
It will smile on me, God willing.
Okay, well, amen. We pray it happens. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, if it happens eventually, you became the president of this country. Would you do things differently? Wouldn't it be the same thing we're saying? It's all about a tit-for-tat kind of situation.
It will not be the same.
People are tired with these two parties, by the way.
It will not be
just
the same.
To inform you that a lot of Sierra Leoneans are tired with APC and SLPP. Are you aware that you're becoming
that is democracy, form a new party
among the people?
That is democracy, form a new party. You see, I always say this. Democracy is a very interesting practice.
Okay.
If you think APC and SLPP are not good enough for you, you have
people,
the option.
Not me, really, for the people of this country.
You're Sierra Leonean, and you vote in elections, so you have a preference. So if the people are not happy with these two parties, don't forget there are 17 political parties. They can choose the others. So we don't have a situation.
But you are the primus.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
There are just a few weeks ago. The government based a critical decision on the fact that 12 political parties have endorsed. And so it doesn't matter if two, forgetting that those 12 put together don't have a single word under their belt. Not a single word. They did not win a single word. I won't talk about a constituency or a district council, but they are rating them all the same. So that's what I'm saying. We don't have two parties in Sierra Leone. We have 14 or 17. So if you think the 17 are not good enough, you have liberty to form an 18th political party. It's all democracy.
Should we hold you accountable, even jail you eventually, if you came to power and failed to deliver?
That's incitement to... You will,
I'm just saying. No, I will not go down. I'm just saying.
You will go down.
If at all, the people should hold you accountable eventually, should you risk your life, your integrity, your family's name, your reputation, if you came to power and failed to deliver on all what you've promised this morning?
Yes, not only this morning. I've been very consistent. And that is why when I am elected leader of my party, I'm going to present to this country an agenda for harmony, opportunity, and transformation. It will be based on 5 pillars and would, for the first time, present our manifesto in the form of a strategic plan, and which we will present to the people as a social contract, where we'll tell people over the next 5 years, we're going to deliver ABC. We'll tell you where it will be done, the quantity we'll give, and how much it will cost, and where we hope to get the resources from. We will then have, within that framework, a 3-year rolling plan and a 1-year action plan. And the 1-year action plan will inform the performance contracts, which all leaders at various levels will have to sign to. Okay. And since I have a history of enforcing performance contracts, as Chief of Staff, I can assure you that as President, I will also do more. And guess what? I'm also on record as saying that even as President, I will guarantee that I will face the nation at least once a month, live interview.
Okay.
Let people, it will be moderated, of course. The moderator will not be a staff of government.
Okay.
An independent moderator will be there to moderate that program, and I will open up myself every month.
Like who? A journalist, you mean?
Independent moderator, preferably a journalist. And then the country.
Who's going to choose the moderator?
It doesn't matter. At least that I will be ready to open myself up.
It does matter. The person who steers the ship.
Okay.
Okay, doctor.
And I will get the people to ask me. I'm doing it already on Weird. Okay. Every Wednesday at 9, I go on Weird, I talk, and then they open the lines, and anybody is free to ask me any type of question.
Right,
and I don't take offense. And I believe that as leaders, we have to learn to communicate. Many of the challenges we face is due to misinformation and miscommunication.
Okay.
We are so afraid of our people that we keep them in the dark. And when you keep them in the dark, then they will be fed with the wrong information. And that is part of the problem. So to address that, I will open myself up.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, we have some
messages on Facebook.
Some messages on Facebook.
Thomas Rogers is saying, politicians often have their ideas and solutions when they are in opposition. But once they gain power, those ideas sometimes disappear. This disappoints citizens who expect leaders to fulfill their promises and improve the country. The statement reflects frustration and hope that leaders in Sierra Leone will put the people and national development first. Lima?
Say, good morning, everybody. Honestly, Dr. Richard Conte I think he meant to say scrambling to answer questions. Today the tea is very hot for you, sir. Why now did you guys want to engage the president? I was expecting the parliamentarian to speak whatsoever evidence they have against Mr. Edmond Sylvester Alpha should have, well, I'll just read it as it is. Should have produced it in the House of Parliament. Honestly, President Bureau is not ready to listen to unprogressive political party like APC.
Right. Mark 10, New Englandville is saying, in a video circulating online, Jagaban alleged that some senior party members were caught with ballot boxes in their homes during the electoral process. He described the situation as shameful, particularly accusing individuals who claim to, quote unquote, own the system of misusing their institutional knowledge to compromise their integrity of the elections.
San Kayode is saying he will not tell you if it was State House. For me, sources should be good enough, pa. At least it is far better than no comments.
Please ask Dr. Conte what does he make of President Kourouma's statement on boycott in Parliament December 12 when APC was in power, and how does their action seem different from what President described in his parliamentary speech? President Kourouma said, referring to the then opposition SLPP, dialogue is better than boycott. I hope my friends will not take note. We'll take notes and acknowledge that the days of walkouts and boycotts are over, quote unquote. Does Dr. Conte and the APC still believe in that statement?
Sam Kayode also said, Dr. Conte, how will you handle security issues, especially when it comes to the fact that Guinea has been disrespectful to the letters of the Mano River Union, which ensures stability in the country and the region too?
The APC's rejection of the commission raises significant questions about the credibility of future elections. As Sierra Leone prepares for upcoming electoral processes, the debate over the independence of electoral commission is likely to remain central. Prezo, what's the latest on journalist Umu Toronka's case? Last year, she was sacked by the SLBC, but recently IMC has reportedly ruled that the SLBC unlawfully dismissed the journalist Umu Toronka and has recommended that the state broadcaster compensate her.
So Let me just see this one from Yusuf Mose Suma. It says, Dr. Conte, in a scale of 10, how would you rate your strength within the party?
All right. Magdalene Massa Boimer, we have become selfish, corrupt, and often make decisions that reflect our worst traits. It's disheartening to see how our actions affect the country. We have experienced many challenges, yet it seems like everyone is quick to point fingers at one another instead of seeking solutions together. The government should provide subsidies for public transportation. I think this has to do with our rants this morning. I think these are the messages.
Yeah.
I think we have only one for, Mr. Nasrallah and Doctor. Perhaps you would want to. Okay, well, Doctor.
Yeah.
You can start.
Thank you very much. The first guy, I think Thomas, spoke about people changing when they get to power. You see, this is part of the reason why it is good for Sierra Leoneans to elect a leader that is battle-tested, a leader that you have seen performing in governance, not a leader that comes from the blues, praising and promising the world. When reality sets in, it's a different thing. I think Sierra Leone is now ripe to have that type of leadership. I agree with him that we need to put people first. He said I was struggling to answer questions. That is very much unlike me. I think it was a confusion more on the side of the hosts than from me, because it was they themselves who were talking over each other, and that was his point, and I had to wait for them to answer. He said, Bill is not ready to listen to us. Yeah, we know that he's not ready to listen. That is why we are taking up our own action.
Okay.
He mentioned about the Jagaban allegations, and I've said yes. If the party is a party of structure, the party has a constitution, the party has guidelines and regulations, so they should follow them if they have issues. The Kayode said I should not disclose the sources, and I agree with him that I will not disclose my sources. And he said, how would I handle the security situation in Guinea? And I said, I will use a dual approach. I will use the diplomatic approach, whilst also positioning myself to be able to defend my country. In another forum, this question came up, and I gave the example of Sheikh Stephen in the early 70s, when Guinea claimed Kono. Sheikh Stephen immediately mobilized troops to the border, and Guinea withdrew. He showed strength. He showed a willingness to resist. Over the last 2 days in Liberia, when Guinea came and hoisted their flag on Liberian territory, civilians marched to the border, hoisted their own flag, and said, this is Liberia, and we are ready to die. And I think that is what I would expect us Sierra Leoneans to do. You made another person said, made reference to Kuruma's statement on boycott, and said it's always better to dialogue. And I said, precisely. That is why in 2023, because the APC believed that dialogue is the best way to go, that is why the APC went to Bintumani. That's why the APC went to the tripartite negotiations and expected that both parties would be acting in good faith. Sadly, the reality is different, and the parties left with no choice but to resort to this line of action. And I agree with him that these types of actions will threaten the credibility of future elections. And that is precisely why we have to take action now to prevent that. You know, if a referee is already compromised, whatever the outcome of that football match will be, it will be questioned. If a judge in a matter is compromised, whatever judgment he or she gives will be questioned. That is why, even in the court of law, when you have issues with the judge or a magistrate in a matter, you have the right to raise it and ask that judge to recuse him or herself, and then the matter can be assigned to another judge. That is the case we are having now with the ECSR. You will answer the one on the Umu Toronka. I will not comment on it. He said, how will I rate my strength? 10 over 10. It's how I will rate my strength. And the challenges we face, the issue of pointing fingers and not seeking solutions. Interestingly, what I have done consistently, whenever I criticize, I proffer solutions.
Okay.
So if you go and watch all my videos, all my clips, you see that whenever I criticize, I proffer solutions, because I believe that we should not only criticize, we should also proffer solutions, because at the end of the day, it's about Sierra Leone and not about us.
There are two addendums here. I feel they are very important to your discussion. Thomas Rogers is saying, Dr. Conte, many Sierra Leoneans have had similar promises from political leaders before. The main concern is how the people will hold you accountable if you became president of Sierra Leone and those promises are not achieved. Citizens want clear plans, transparency and measurable results to ensure leaders are responsible for what they promise. And the last one is for Mosdi, saying both of you and Dr. Mara served at senior levels in previous administration, which struggled to deliver the most basic public goods, reliable electricity, affordable healthcare, food security and economic stability. Today, you are asking the people to trust you with even greater responsibility. What specific measurable guarantees can you give that your leadership will not repeat the same failures? And what will you do differently from the system you were once part of?
Thank you very much. You know, the reason why elections are conducted every 5 years is for the people to grade the performance of the leader. And if that leader did not perform in 5 years, that leader is kicked out. That is the worst penalty they can give to a leader. If, on the other hand, in the time of dispensing your job, performing in your office, you commit other crimes, that's why the judiciary is there to handle those cases. And we have seen how that has played out in previous years. So there are inbuilt systems, inbuilt processes for addressing incompetence. What is bad is when the system is manipulated such that that cannot happen. And that one is bad, and we hope it will not happen. And for me, that is why for me to be evaluated, that is why I said my own manifesto will not be a shopping list. The next APC manifesto under my leadership will not be a shopping list. It will be a strategic plan. And when you know what a strategic plan means, it means it will have clear-cut deliverables. Clear-cut means of verifying those deliverables, and clear-cut targets, clear-cut responsibility roles, and clear-cut assumptions over things we do not have control over. That is what we are going to deliver. Luckily, I'm a planner. That's my profession. So I'm going to bring my professional background to bear on my governance strategy. The next one said, Kefala Mara and myself served in the previous government, and that government, the government failed, and so what's the guarantee that we can do it better? You know what happened? Southerners will forget too soon. People have forgotten how Wilkinson Road was before APC came to power. People have forgotten how Spur Road was, how Beach Road was, how the road to Masheka was, how the road to Bo was, how the road to Kono was. People have forgotten. People have forgotten how the city roads in all the district headquarter towns looked like before APC. People have forgotten that before APC, Freetown was the darkest city in the world. People have forgotten. And that is the sad dilemma.
It's one of the darkest.
It's a process.
Nothing has changed. It's still one of the darkest,
Well, but at least the amount of power available was increased from under 10 megawatts to over 300 megawatts over the period of the APC. So what we now expect, and if all the power projects that were in the pipeline were executed to completion, we wouldn't have been struggling today. But we are struggling today with power because they came back and destroyed all of them. Secondly, they came back and sacked all the people who were managing these power plants in the various locations, and brought in their people who knew nothing. And so the machines grounded, starting from Lunge, where we left 3 brand new 2 megawatt machines, brand new, plus the old ones that were there. They allowed them to break down, and then they went to McKinney to take 1.65 megawatt machine, and in the process, they killed at least 6 people. That is the highest degree of mismanagement. Could the APC have done more? Yes. But can we say the APC did not do well? No. The APC did very well. It's a progress, and successive governments should come and build on that. Since this SLPP government failed to build upon the track record of the APC, we are coming back to ensure that we take it from where we dropped off and take it to where we will eventually want it to be.
Ahmed?
Yes, on the issue of
yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's why I'm here, but as former president of SLAJ, I think the person who asked the question already provided the answer, the IMC, because at some point at the previous AGM, the decision was made that the IMC should look into the matter together with the other parties, SLBC and SLAJ, and representatives of UMU, and they had that meeting, and they made some recommendations. And I also remember that at some point, she also had some legal people who were representing her. They wanted to take the issue to court, and even to the ECOWAS court. They had a meeting, a press conference. But I've not tracked, since I left SLAJ, I've not tracked how far they've gone in actualizing those recommendations, or how far the litigation has gone in terms of ECOWAS. But those answers were provided by the current president and the president of Women in the Media, and also the IMC, and as well the SLBC leadership.
So what practical outcomes should citizens expect from Roots within the next 12 months?
Well, we are going to generate a national conversation on the goals and objectives of Roots, and we want to galvanize people, citizens, to register online, go to the website and register, become part of it, and give your support, and encourage other CSOs and like-minded organizations to also come on board and play their part. And so what we want to do is to begin to see that kind of change in the way the public and the citizens participate in these conversations, because if you look at social media right now, where every conversation is taking place, the conversations are not healthy, the debates are so caustic and so toxic, and you don't want to get involved. But we want to see how we can generate and put into those platforms positive debates and healthy debates around national issues, and how citizens can contribute, especially young people. So those are the things that we need to, we're looking forward to see, and how we can also engage with the political parties, the government, and the other players, and sit and talk about these things, that we all need to change the approach, even from the politicians, how the campaign. I heard somebody talked about the monetization of politics in Sierra Leone. It's all about money. When they go to campaign, they just give money to the people, and people just vote without asking the issues, without they don't vote, or they don't support a candidate based on what they would deliver on health, what they would deliver on education, what they would deliver on the economy, and basic services, and those sort of things. So those are the things that we need to, we are looking forward to change. But first, we need to get the buy-in of the public and the citizens, because this is a citizen-led movement. We want them to be active. We want them to see this as an opportunity to change the way we practice our politics and our government. And let's put and our governance, and let's put these tribes and these regional and other petty-party affiliation considerations when we talk about Sierra Leone, when we converse and discuss about Sierra Leone. These are at the heart of all of this is the root creed. We have a creed, which is a personal commitment from every citizen. If you allow me to read it, I'll read it, a very short one. And it's what people would need from people to commit themselves to, that this is part of their own civic responsibility. And if we all do that, yes, we will help the politicians, and we'll help our democracy and promote good governance. So it says, as a citizen, because this was read yesterday at the launch, and we ensured that everybody stood up and recited it, and ensured that it become part of our own commitment to the cause. As a citizen, I know that Sierra Leone is a resource-rich country that has suffered years of poverty unnecessarily. I believe that by pitching one group, one region, or tribe against the other, our politics is making it difficult for me to join forces with others to overcome the poverty we all suffer. I believe that if our leaders commit to open and better management of state resources and contracts, Sierra Leone will have sufficient resources to take care of all of us. I cannot continue to sit by while the institutions that should improve my life continue failing. I therefore commit to changing the way governance and politics are practiced because we are running out of time. I commit to amplify roots ideals and work tirelessly with others to make Sierra Leone a better place. So at the heart of this creed is the belief, the frustration, and the hope of Sierra Leoneans. And it tells us three things.